attached to UAP is real and powerful and challenges national security.
The U.S. government is operating with secrecy above congressional oversight with regards to UAPs.
I saw a white tic-tac object with a longitudinal axis pointing north-south and moving very abruptly over the water like a ping-pong ball.
Former Navy pilot Ryan Graves, retired U.S. Navy bigwig David Fravor, and the ever-mysterious ex-intelligence officer David Grush were the star-studded trio who chose to appear before the House Committee's stage last Wednesday to spill the beans on UFOs. Who would deliberately risk his life to confront the U.S. government on secrets about aliens and UFOs? These are high-ranking officers who opted to risk their reputations and lives to disclose such information to the public. The intrigue and confidence surrounding their testimonies are simply astonishing. What were these shocking revelations, and how will these affect the national security? Well, let's hear from them. In a series of events that seem straight out of a science fiction film, the U.S. Congress conducted a public hearing to address the allegations that the government is concealing vital information about UFOs. What do you expect? The hearing caused a huge stir across the globe. All eyes were on three key witnesses, including David Grush, the whistleblower who boldly declared in June that the U.S. is housing intact and partially intact alien vehicles. These are top secrets making their way to the surface. Taken aback by such an audacious claim, Congressman Tim Burchett asked Grush if he had any personal knowledge of people who have been harmed or injured while attempting to uncover or conceal extraterrestrial secrets. Grush replied, yes. Really? But Grush was not the only one who made such startling allegations. As the hearing progressed, similar allegations from other witnesses simply reinforced the notion that a cover-up exists somewhere within the U.S. government, as well as skepticism regarding any connection between this cover-up and the notion of little green men. The U.S. government apparently had a little side project for several decades that focused on collecting and attempting to reverse engineer crashed UFOs. According to Grush, he led the analysis of such crashed UAPs, which are unexplained anomalous phenomena, within a U.S. Department of Defense agency until 2023, when he was suddenly denied access to secret government UFO programs. So I guess he decided to expose the little secret he knew. But no one messes with the government and goes scot-free, because now he claims to be facing very brutal retaliation due to his allegations.
Very unfortunate, some of the tactics they used to hurt me both professionally and personally, to be quite frank. Yeah.
He even claimed he knew people who have been harmed or injured in the government's efforts to conceal UFO information. However, the Pentagon denied Grush's claims of a cover-up. In a statement, a Defense Department spokesperson refuted the allegations, stating that investigators have not found any verifiable information to support the existence of programs related to the possession or reverse engineering of extraterrestrial materials, either in the past or at present. Of course, no one was expecting the Pentagon to welcome such allegations with applause. But Tennessee Republican Tim Burchett seems convinced that the Pentagon is playing a game of hide-and-seek with the evidence of close encounters with extraterrestrials. All through the hearing, Burchett kept emphasizing that transparency is paramount and demands that the American public be given answers to their burning questions. He boldly challenges officials to release all files with no redactions allowed and share the information openly. But no, the Pentagon contested Burchett's claims and denied any deliberate withholding of information. Who then is far from the truth, the Pentagon or Grush?
You know, my name is David Fravor. I'm a retired commander in the United States Navy. In 2000,
David Fravor, a former Navy commander who is another witness, recalled seeing a strange object in the sky during a training mission in 2004. Ryan Graves, a retired Navy pilot who has since founded Americans for Safe Aerospace, a nonprofit organization focused on UAPs, claimed to have observed UAPs off the Atlantic coast on a daily basis for at least a couple of years. They all cannot be cooking up such stories. To what interest will it be? Graves said the sightings were as common as finding a Starbucks on every corner. Even military air crews and commercial pilots see this often but prefer to be silent because their lives hang on it. And when pilots were asked about the common characteristics of UAPs they had spotted, the sightings mainly involved dark gray or black cubes within a clear sphere. In these sightings, the top or tips of the cubes were touching the inside of the sphere, Graves added. From reliable sources, there were so many near collision and even collisions with these objects. One of them collided with a Mexican airliner that was landing, which extensively damaged the landing gear. The object was picked up on radar around the airport and observed by the pilot. From all indications, Ryan doesn't seem to go too far into the aliens stuff. He is strictly promoting flight safety because his colleagues were almost killed by flying into these objects. It's mind-blowing that with all this evidence and our advanced technology, we seem to know nothing about what's flying in our space. That's really weird. But it is weirder to believe that we are the only ones in the universe. Just imagine, even with all these declarations, some still doubt the existence of these UAPs. For instance, not everyone was convinced by Grush's testimony, considering the fact that he said he had never personally spotted a UAP, but told the panel he knows of multiple colleagues who were injured by UAPs. He also said he had interviewed individuals who have recovered non-human biologics from crashed UAPs. And why did he prefer to use the term non-human rather than alien or extraterrestrial? Obviously, there were so many times he appeared less forthcoming under oath than he had been in media interviews. He was reluctant to go into details on those claims, citing issues of security. But then, in the interview with News Nation in June, Grush claimed the government had very large, like a football field kind of size, alien craft. While he told Le Parisien, a French newspaper, that the U.S. had possession of a bell-like craft, which Benito Mussolini's government had recovered in northern Italy in 1933. Another revelation made by one of the witnesses was an unusual sight during a test mission. The crew saw a sequence of 4 crafts in a clear diamond formation floating. Now, how do we explain this phenomenon that these crafts, when approached by the pilots, have the capacity to disarm a number of sensory collection systems on that plane? The radar went down. The system malfunctioned. The pilot had to manually take a picture of this image. These test pilots explicitly stated that if you have a UAP experience, the best thing you could do for your career is forget it and not tell anyone. Because any type of recording, either surface or below the surface, has grievous consequences for them. And that's a culture we must change if we want to get to the truth. It's indeed a big dilemma if people can't report occurrences that threaten national security. Unfortunately, this is something that has spanned many years. For decades, many Americans have been fascinated by mysterious, non-human, unexplainable objects. It's long past time they got some answers. This is a topic of great importance to our national security. Since the Oversight Committee got on the case, Burchett has been quite assertive in his claims, throwing around the notion that the U.S. has top-secret evidence of aliens. During an episode of the Event Horizon podcast, Burchett was pressed for details on whether he had seen compelling evidence of sightings in the sky that might not be of this Earth. Without stating his sources, he categorically responded in the affirmative, in his own words. Oh, 100%, no question. Burchett actually went beyond with his claims. Apparently, the U.S. supposedly has evidence of this technology that defies all of our laws of physics. Not only that, he even said that these extraterrestrial crafts could potentially be dangerous. According to Burchett, if they're indeed out there with this kind of mind-boggling technology, we might just end up as charcoal briquettes. That sounds scary. What do you think?
How long has this thing been here?
But how do we get here? Why are all these revelations now? Why would Grush come forward and risk the penalty of perjury or violate his oath of secrecy? His career has certainly been hampered. It takes a lot of bravery to come forward, especially as a member of the military, and speak publicly about seeing UFOs. Ryan Graves also made mention of what he saw while piloting an F-18. Nevertheless, he's been instrumental in encouraging other pilots to speak out. Since the hearing, there's been an influx of individuals coming forward to recount their experiences. Furthermore, a group of commercial pilots have recently signed up and confirmed several of the sightings mentioned while providing additional information regarding potential new cases. Right now, the question is not whether it's alien, but rather what it is. What is it capable of? How many are they out there? And what are their intentions? Once we have these answers, we can then focus on knowing their origin. Or perhaps there is a hidden player somewhere in this whole game that nobody knows about. This fact alone should instill fear in us, as it indisputably proves that we are not alone on our planet. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like and subscribe to our channel so you'll get notified every time we post a new video. Thanks for watching.